I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody: friends, neighbors, family members, co workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That
Talk
means you can sell your
Radio.
products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, childcare services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
Good day from around the world, and welcome to Global Talks with Zanna. I'm Zanna, and I welcome everybody to join me every month, one Saturday in a month, and I will be honoured with an amazing guest from somewhere in our amazing world. And they will talk with us about different amazing topics. And today I have a very special guest all the way from beautiful Ghana to talk with us about living the dream, something we all would love to be able to do. I'm going to introduce to you now this very special lady, Dr. Evelyn Tawiah. Welcome.
Thank you, Zanna.
Thank you. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on the Female Solution. And today's show, with you, our special guest, we have called it Living the Dream. So I wanted to, first of all, take the opportunity for you to give us an overall impression of what you're all about, because quite honestly, you're amazing. And I know quite a bit, but it would be amazing to come from you, how you started as a very young woman, your passion for caring for people, how you got into nursing and where it led from there, because it's actually an incredibly inspiring story. So I'll hand over to you to give us an overall brief as to how you've ended up where you are today.
Wow, Zanna, that is a tall order.
I know.
My name is Evelyn Tawiah, or Dr. Tawiah. I recently retired from the UK, where I've lived for about 40 years, doing nursing and then eventually going on to do medicine. But I retired to my country, Ghana, and I am living the dream. I am working towards the dreams, the goals that I've set for myself, and the kind of things that I want to do. And so it's nice to be here to be able to share a bit of my story, hoping that my story will inspire, encourage, motivate, and get people going in the direction of their dreams. As children, we all have dreams. We all have things that we want to do, want to achieve, what kind of life we want to have, where we want to live, what kind of professions we want to, be in. And for me, what I want to do after now that I'm retired, the next stage of my life. So it's exciting to be here. Living the dream sounds nice, and it is nice so far as I'm concerned. But it's just about knowing where it is you want to go, knowing what the dream is that you want to chase, and you go after it with all your heart. And that's what I'm doing now, and it's exciting for me.
I think that's absolutely fantastic, and you really are an inspiration. So you started in Ghana, and you trained to become a qualified nurse. That then moved you to the UK, am I right? And you then decided, unlike normal people, well, I've done that, now I'm going to study and become a qualified medical doctor, which is what you did. So
yes.
After, and I guess really, that was a big part of your life for so long. But in addition to that, you became an inspirational life coach, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, yeah, I'd really like to know quite a bit more about that, because I think I've heard you as well. And I think that as I've followed you, you are an inspiration. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So I got into mentoring and coaching. Really from the COVID period, I'd been doing bits and pieces, but I was never formalized. Now, I myself benefited so much from coaching that I felt that was something that I could pass on to, people around me. So in the late, maybe 1990s, I found myself really very low and very depressed. I was a single parent. I had 2 children. And I became fearful. I was living in the UK. I'm in Ghana now. I was living in the UK then. And I became so fearful, thinking that my children could be taken off me because I was so depressed by social services. I don't know what you call them in the US. And so in my desperation, I just took myself off. I was a nurse then. So I didn't really want to go and see my doctor. I didn't want to be on tablets or anything like that. So I took myself up to my local library and borrowed 2 books. And one book literally. I mean, next to, because I'm a person of faith and I do believe in the Bible a lot, but that book was the next thing that really changed it for me. And so for the first time, I had a book, I was reading myself, and that book was asking me to set goals, something that I had never thought of, because as a nurse, we set goals on our jobs all the time. You know, have SMART goals, goals that you can measure, that is achievable. We did that on my profession, but never did it occur to me that I could set goals for my personal life. I mean, when I realized that, it hit me like a thunderbolt. That I can set goals and work towards my goals and achieve what it is I wanted to achieve. But really of my living my dream life. So, okay, it wasn't dreamy and it wasn't nice in the beginning because it was hard work. I had to see where I was. I had to see where it is I wanted to get to. And then I needed to work out the steps that I needed to climb to get to my goal. So reading the book, I picked up a book from the library by a guy called Jack Canfield, and I'm sure a lot of the US listeners might know about him because he's behind the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. It's a whole big series of books in the US actually. So I got the book, and then the book encourage you to set a really big goal. So they call it a beige goal, a goal that when you achieve it, it will change things for you. So I decided I was going to get to medical school and study in such a way that I'll be able to work with women in Africa. So for a long time, I've been wanting to come to Africa, but it took me a long time on my dream journey, is what I'd say. So I got into medical school. It was after maybe 4 or 5 years after I'd read that book. So it didn't happen suddenly. It didn't happen quickly. I had to wait. I had to go back to college over the weekends, did some of the subjects again. I had to do exams and then get into medical school. That was 4 years in medical school, then qualified and started working as a doctor. So that was my dream life. That if we've got the dream, if we've got a goal, if we've got a vision, if it's clear in our minds, we can build the steps, one step at a time, one little goal at a time. Because the goal might be so big, it might be so overwhelming, you might think, gosh, I'll never be able to achieve this. But if you break it down into smaller goals, as you hit your small goals, it takes you nearer and nearer and nearer to your big goals. So this is what happened to me. I benefited so much from coaching that in the end, I felt I could also encourage other people to change their lives, to begin to live the kind of life they've always wanted to live. But, for whatever reason, I mean, maybe you got married or you had a partner, children came in the way, you needed to earn a living, you didn't have time. So you didn't really have the opportunity to look at what you really wanted. Is it you that you wanted to learn to play an instrument, or was it that you wanted to go back to college and get a degree, or even do a postgraduate course, or the house you want to build, or the farm you want to have? We all have things that we really want to do. We're doing other things. I was running around doing other things, and my dreams was kind of pushed to the back. So now that I've actually come to Ghana, I'm in stage 2 of my dream life. I've done the medicine thing, I've got that dream. Now my stage 2 is about encouraging other people and being impactful for other people. So this is where I am now.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And because I think as human beings, we all have dreams, don't we? We all dream about a type of life we want to live, or an achievement we want to reach, or all sorts of things. But I think perhaps a lot of us leave it in the dream, and we don't actually create a vision based on our dream. Because I think that then once you've created your dream into a vision, which means that it's probably a bit more organized in all its little windows or whatever, but then you've got to find the solutions to make that vision eventually become reality. And
Yes.
I guess the vision keeps moving and growing and developing, and so you're always having to find new solutions, new ways to make that vision become reality, which is what you're very good at. And I do think maybe a lot of us aren't so good at that, because like you have literally just said a couple of minutes back, you didn't realize that was something that you could do for yourself. You were doing it in work, and probably many people are doing it in work and are probably hugely successful in their working place, but aren't actually adapting it for themselves from within. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So we do have a lovely little video to watch, because it was your highest return comes from your strength. Little short video. And that's actually by somebody that you've aspired to. I can't remember his name.
Is that the John Maxwell video that you're going to show?
Yes, the little short one. So I'm hoping that we might be able to play that now.
Yes.
Now, this is actually my very, very first show. I have actually never done anything like this in my life before. So backstage, I've got a really massive helping hand, because I don't know where all the buttons are yet. This is really kind of alien to me. Totally.
We are learning together, Zanna.
It's really quite funny. So I'm really hoping in a moment it's going to kick in, and we're going to be able to watch a very, very short video, but it is rather lovely, and it's called Your Highest Return Comes from Your Strength. So while we wait for that to kick into action, because I can't press the button, they're not there. Backstage are going to press the button for me in a minute. Talk a little bit about that gentleman, because he's been a great inspiration to you, hasn't he?
Yes, John C. Maxwell is a well-known man in the US, actually. He's written over 80 books, and he's got a few New York Times bestseller books. He's probably got about 10 of those. He is known to be a leader, a world leader in communication and leadership. And those are where his strengths are. We're going to be watching the strengths video, where his strengths are. And he teaches a lot about value-based leadership, and that we as individuals should always seek to be impacting good, I won't say goodness, but values and character to other people around us, because that's how we become significant. If we are always able to add value, this is a term, add value to people around you, people you work with, your family, your friends. This is how you become significant. And this is one of the reasons why I've left the UK, because I felt I can be a bit more significant in Ghana. So he talks a lot, he's a leadership coach. And yes, so we're ready to watch that video.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's going to be starting any minute now. And it's very, very short, but I think for me, I would want everybody to just engage with that video just for those few seconds and just let yourself be absorbed within it. And I think a lot of people will suddenly feel that they can take something from it, and that might in itself inspire them to go and perhaps look at the books and look at more videos, and like you did, collect the books and read them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we'll watch that in a moment, and when we've watched it, we're going to take a short break. When we come back from the break in our part 2, we are going to start talking in greater depth about, having to look up to read it, how we can start today to live the life of your dreams. Because what we're wanting to talk about is your professional approach in coaching as to how you would be encouraging an individual, so everybody out there listening to us, how they can start, what they need to do, how they need to reset. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So from your perspective, how are we going to start that in a few minutes after break?
So I mean, before the break, you want me to say something before the break, or
I'm just reading a message here which says, yes, many Americans don't have an actual concept of professional development. Are there misconceptions you think Americans have that are different from the reality you experienced?
I might not be able to comment on the American thing per se, because I've only worked like 2 weeks in the US and that's it. When I say like professional development, you start work, and then maybe if you're lucky, you might get a mentor or somebody who's going to sit you down and say, if you do your work well and maybe you do this exams, you do that exams, you become the supervisor. Or if you do this and do that, you become management. You're on a career, a career ladder, which is fairly laid out for lots of people. In the NHS, there are courses you can do, there are seminars and things you can do that keeps you going on the professional ladder. And if you get somebody who's very good, who will hold your hands and teach you a few things when you start. But how it works in America, I can't really comment on. I think Americans have a different from the reality I experience. So professionally in the UK, I did have some kind of a career, even as a doctor, career structure that I was supposed to do, the exams I was supposed to do, what I was supposed to be able to climb up. That was straightforward professionally, what I needed to do to get to the top. What I didn't know was how I could work on my relationships at home, or how I could set some financial goals, or how I could manage my money, for example, or how I manage my leisure time, what I could do, those kind of things were things that I didn't plan. But professionally, I was okay. So I was doing well professionally, but at home, it was not that great, which is why I was saying I was slow and I was depressed, despite the fact that I was doing okay on the job. It just didn't work out for me. I needed to, get up and go and find the help that I needed. And that was the book for me. I just sat down and did everything the book said I should do. And yes, and then that's how I did. So I can't really comment on the American system, but this is how it was for me in the UK.
I do wonder if it's a human thing. So no matter which countries you're in, as human beings, maybe we're all susceptible to that way of living. We conduct ourselves in the working role and the expected role, but as human beings, we're not very good at going out and setting our own goals for ourselves, from our inner self.
it is known that these things don't come easy, and that if you want to you want to set goals, you've got to be intentional about how you live your life. Because if you get up every morning and you go to work and come like everybody else, you pay the bills, look after the children, and don't actually sit down and plan and say, where do I want to be in the next year or 2 or 3 years? You just go to work and come, which is what I was doing for a very long time. I was just trying to bring the children up on my own, have a job, pay the bills. And that was it for me. But if you are intentional in saying, I want to be a bit more than paying the bills and have a job. I want to be able to financially put something aside. I want to be able to get back to medical school. I want to be able to have a better relationship with my children. These are some of the goals that I had to set, areas in my life that I had to look at to be able to then do the things that I'm doing now. So it's not easy. And even now that I am, a lot of my goals are easier to achieve because I've been doing them for a while. I've lived, I exercise regularly. It's taking a while, but I'm there now and I do it without thinking about it. Other goals are a challenge, especially if they are new and you have to change your way of doing things. Maybe you have to wake up a bit earlier or go to bed a bit earlier, or maybe watch, the television for maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour rather than the whole evening. Changing, it's difficult, it's just difficult, to change years and years and years and years of habit. And this is why I think people have issues with their goals. But I have issues as well. I'm not going to sit down here and say I've got it completely perfect. I haven't. But we just be intentional. Like we say, this is what we want to do, and that's how we get on with it.
Yeah. It's personal discipline, isn't it? I'm not very good at that personally.
I think it's a struggle for all of us, Zanna. It's a struggle for all of us. And even this morning, I almost missed my walk. I woke up and I'd forgotten completely that I was meant to go out for my exercise. So it's a struggle for all of us. We forget, life happens. You might not be well, you travel, the children come, you get family, you get friends. So things come in a way that really stops us doing what it is that we feel we've got to do. But if we put structures in place, it makes the distractions a whole lot less and less and less. And eventually you might not have that many. So, yes.
I think also it's about setting achievable goals, isn't it? So yes. It could be anything. So like your personal self-discipline. As a young person, I was very competitive in the equestrian world. I rode nationally as an event rider. I was top of my game at the time. And I was disciplined because I had work. So really, you were working 7 days a week. I worked 6 days a week. I trained fitness training in the mornings before I went to work. So I was up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, gone, back, do a day's work. I used my lunch break for further training. And then it was a very set program every single week when I was within the season. But then there was that letting down post-season and building up pre-season. But I would literally work a full day, and then in the evenings, I'd be doing a couple of hours training. So you became very, very disciplined. And then I think what happens is other things take over. And then you have marriages, you have children, the marriages start to go wrong. Then your whole focus is on surviving with your children. This is just my scenario. And after that, what I found, and I bet that a whole load of people would think that's what happened to me, your focus goes and you go into autopilot. And that's where living your dream tends to sort of wash away. And then you get on a few decades and it's, I'm not doing it. Quick, I'm running out of time. Now I need to do something. And I think a lot of people will fall into those kind of, it's almost like a trap, isn't it?
I think, Zanna, like you're saying, life happens, and then your dreams like fall by the wayside. And I can see that things, so many things happen. And I suppose you did say you can start. I mean, if you have a dream and the dream is so big that it scares you, you can break it down into little bits. And even if it takes you 10 years to get to that dream, at least eventually you will get there. So
exactly.
So have goals that are flexible if you can't do it. So for example, I work 3 times a week, and I do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Occasionally, so for example, on Monday morning, we did a very early meeting, Monday morning meeting. So I couldn't do the work on Monday. So I went Tuesday instead. So I've built some flexibility into my routine. So if it doesn't happen one day, I can do the next day. So I don't feel I've disappointed myself.
Yeah.
That I've let myself down. So setting goals just to make it sustainable, make it flexible, break it down into little bits. So have a big goal. So for example, when I felt that I wanted to get to medical school, what did I need to do? I listed all the steps down. So I need to maybe see the qualifications that I needed to get to medical school. I need to find out that, like the schools that I'd want to go to, because it wasn't all the schools that will accept me because I was quite old when I got to medical school. I set a date for when I was going to see the school, set a date for when I was going to sit the exam. So everything, so I've got to sit the exams by maybe January 2020. So I needed to register by, let's say, November 2019. So I had all those written down. And there's some of the goals that I had put up on my wall, actually. So every day when I woke up, especially when I was working, every day I woke up, my goals were on my wall and I can see, so I don't forget. Some people have it written on their mobile phone screen or their cell phone screens, or even on their desktop, their goals, what they want to achieve. So, tiny little goals so that it's not overwhelming, so it doesn't fall by the wayside when life.
Brilliant idea.
Yes.
I just want to read a little message from Anne. Anne has just texted Dr. Evelyn Tawiah. You are an inspiration to me. I am glad that I'm a student from your lifelong coaching activities.
That's great. I think
so there we go. That's proof in the pudding.
Yes.
So I think we're supposed to be going for a break now. So I'm going to stop talking so that the next videos can come on. And okay. I will see you in part 2 in a minute or two. And thank you so much so far. It's been absolutely fantastic. Brilliant.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. And if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everyone. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, childcare services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're 3 Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also 3 sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
we'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
Hello, and we're back. So we wanted to show that little video, which I think we're able to play now. It's your highest return comes from your strength. So I'm just going to pause for a moment just to see if we're ready to play that, because it's rather a nice one. And then we're going to move on after we've watched that video to listen to you, Dr. Evelyn, describe how you would take somebody on and commence a coaching, how you're going to prepare somebody, how you kickstart, as it were. Does that make sense?
Yes, we can talk a bit about that. Yes, certainly.
That would be brilliant. So, is the video ready? I wonder. No, she still needs time. So, that's okay. Let's carry on for the moment because that video will make sense nonetheless. I'm fascinated to know how a life coach. So, if I came to you and said, right, Dr. Evelyn, please coach me, I'd sit back and say, I wouldn't actually know what to ask for. So if I was to come to you for the first time, how would you approach me? So I've come to you and I want help. I know I want help, but I don't know what to ask for. How would you approach me?
So it's nice that you are approaching me as a coach, or individuals here approach somebody as a coach. Because what I normally would do is basically ask the whoever is approaching the questions. What is it you want to achieve in life? What are your major challenges? What's preventing you from being who you really want to be, or what's stopping you taking the next step? Where do you feel you are stuck? So these will be some of the coaching questions that we'll ask, because as a coach, I'm not there to tell you what to do, but I'm there to get you to start thinking, dig deep into yourself, because inherently we've got the answers we need to help us move in the direction we want to go, but you just need to unearth it. So all good coaches will ask questions, and they will never tell you, go do this and go do that. But I'm be asking some good coaching questions. And then hopefully the people begin to talk, to think about things, where you want to go. I mean, what would you want to do? What would you want to achieve in the next year, for example? And then they'll say, I might want to go to college. So then you're asking, so what's stopping you, or what's in the way? Then they might say, maybe I don't feel confident, or I don't think I have the time, or I don't know if my family will, support. So you're asking the questions, so if your family isn't going to support you, what still stops you going? And, to get people thinking about the things that they probably haven't thought about. It's not that they don't know, they probably just haven't thought deeply about those kind of things. So when people approach me and they really want me to take them on as a coach, get into the coach, I think our video is going to be ready soon. But if we want to get into a coaching relationship, it's purely by just asking them questions. And if I see that these people are really interested in moving on, and developing different aspects of your life, then yes, we can go into a proper maybe a coaching contract and then move on from there. But we do an initial 30-minute strategy talk, I will call it, just to see how ready the person is to get, to receive help from myself. Yes.
That's interesting. Let's watch the video and then we will come back. And when we've watched the video, I'm just going to read another little message. Yeah. Fire away, video. We can't hear it.
No volume.
I think the sound wasn't working. Can you hear me? Ah, that's gone. Can you hear me?
I can, but I didn't hear the video myself.
No, I didn't hear the video either. So not to worry, let's move swiftly on. So let's carry on that conversation. We can watch another video later, so that's okay. Let's just move swiftly on now in this section, talking about your coaching. So I think that's really interesting what you mentioned about, really it's a half-hour assessment, isn't it, to see where that person is. Yeah.
Yes. See whether the person understands the coaching, whether the person likes my style of coaching, and then whether I also can see that the person is wanting to do something about their lives. Because there's people who aren't ready, and you can only you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink the water. So you try and assess the level of readiness of whoever it is that is approaching you, and and then we decide from there.
Yeah. Tell me about your style, because it seems to me that every coach has their own specific style.
So I belong to the John Maxwell coaching company, and they call us Maxwell Leadership Team Coaches. And we are people-centered. We are centered around all our philosophies around our customers or our clients, and we are led by what the client needs. Now we can do one-on-one coaching. We can do one with a group coaching. I particularly love the group coaching because I think that people learn from others, but it's not everybody who likes that kind of a thing. We encourage people to be really interested, become so intentional and passionate about their own personal growth and development. Because if you become excited about the things that you love in life, it is then a lot easier to do those things. So you were talking about, it was a video going to be talking about strengths, for example. There are, with the John Maxwell team, there are like behavioral tests that you can do. Or you can even actually buy some books as well to help guide you to find out where your strengths are, and then build on those strengths, because we believe that it's a lot easier to build on your strengths, and you enjoy a lot more the things that you can do that comes to you easier. So build on those, and then build your because usually your passion, your dream, your goals are around your strengths, or they should be around your strengths, because then it's easier to implement the goals and the changes that you want to do in your area of strength. You're able to move on a lot quicker and change your life. And then where you are not so good at, if you're in a team, you'll find somebody to complement you. So where you are weak, you've got somebody strengthening them. Where they're weak, you are the strong person there. So we believe in people having the strength in themselves, or having the giftings and the abilities they need to move their lives on in themselves, and they just need to work on that and make it better, and then see where their development will take them. So those are some of the principles that we base our coaching on.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. You did an actual training to become life coach, didn't you?
I did it with two companies. The first one was the Jack Canfield that I told you about. He wrote a book. It was a book that I read that really taught me how to set my goals, how to be intentional about the things I do, how to ask for the things I want in life, how even being not getting the things you want in life doesn't mean that you're a failure. And then I went on during the COVID period, because when COVID happened and the world shut down, I felt I needed to do something in the downtime. So then I enrolled with the John Maxwell coaching company and did his type of coaching as well. And because he's written so many books, a lot of coaching is around his books as well. And so for people who can read, it's a really, really good way of working on some of your challenges and your difficulties. And then if you feel that you need, because I'm always a person, I believe that a lot of us can do things for ourselves to begin with. And if you're trying and you think, oh, maybe now I need somebody, go on and get a course and go on and get a coach. But at least start with a good book, because that's how I got there. I'm not going to say if people wanted to go coaching straight away, why not? But if they feel maybe I can do something, I can coach myself, because that's how I got it. I coach myself first, so other people can do the same. So yes, this is it. And I know lots of coaches are going to shoot me down and say, oh, why are you I'm not asking people to go coaching straight away. I didn't. I did my own coaching first, then went ahead and did some training.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Fantastic. Fascinating, isn't it? Fascinating, the advantage of being coached. I just wonder how many people it doesn't come to their thought process that coaching could benefit them.
I think that now maybe a lot more people hear about coaching than maybe it was 10 or 15 years ago. Because before you hear about coaching, you're thinking about football coach or a soccer coach before. But now there's a lot more people talking about coaching. Companies are actually paying for coaches to coach the executives, yes. So people are beginning to understand a lot more about coaching. When you talk to them, they know about it. People are asking. And others are still a bit dubious, that they can do things for themselves. But yes, if you know the principles and you can apply it, and you don't need any, because what coaches do as well, one important thing is the coaches are there just to make sure that you achieve what it is you said you want to achieve. We don't have any other ulterior motives. I'm not maybe your husband or your boss on the job or whatever, wanting certain things for you. The coach is there purely to serve you and your interests, what it is that you want to achieve. Where is it that you are stuck? Why are you moving? So the coach is there to make sure that you get unstuck and move on. And then the coach can be there as your companion. And for us, an accountability person. So the next time, so if you have a coaching session now, the next time you come, I would expect that the kind of things we discussed and you said you're going to do, that you are doing them. Because then you're moving on, you're working gradually towards your goals and you're moving on with your goals. So coaching helps. It will shorten the journey for you, because self-coaching can help, yes. But if somebody, somebody else is holding your hand, somebody who's been there and done it is holding your hand, it's a lot quicker. So this is it. And I hope I've answered your question, Zanna.
Yeah, fascinating. I have to ask this question though. I just wonder, do you get some really strange requests from somebody that's asking for coaching?
So, I mean, yes, people will ask why, for example, do they have to pay for the coaching, for example, or people ask why.
Really?
Yes, some people feel that, you can spend a quality, valuable time and not ask for money. And I find that, surprising, but you do get to feel like that. Some strange things, people asking me, so because I'm a medical doctor, but I don't really do too much clinical work now. And I don't do clinical work. I retired. It wasn't that I ran away from the profession. I've just done my years of hard work, and I'm doing other things. People are genuinely surprised that a doctor could leave her job, whatever it is she's doing, and she says she's coaching. But I genuinely retired from my works, and I'm now living my dream. I want to do other things as well, which is what I'm doing. So I do get questions like that. Some strange ones.
It's one life, isn't it?
It is. And yes, and that really points to the fact that if there's things that you want to do, go ahead and do them. This is how you're going to live your dream life. It's not about money. It's not about positions or titles. It's about you doing the things that you've always wanted to do. But for one reason or the other, and it could be so many different reasons. And in my case, it was that I was a single parent, I had children to look after. And so for some people, yes, you could be in a relationship and that did not, give you the time to do what it is you wanted to do. And then finally, you're getting the time to do it, or you're making time to do what it is that you want to do. You wake up in the morning joyful because you're now in your area where you really want to be, hopefully in your area of strength as well, because you're doing things that you're very good at. Other people struggle with it, but you wake up excited just doing it. And it is a different life when you're doing the things that you really want to do. You go to work excited because as you're working in what it is you want to do, and it's a whole different ballgame.
Well, I think you really are rather fascinating, because you have actually you've done a whole lifetime's worth of dedication to your vocation as a medical doctor, working in the NHS in hospitals for all those years, and that's hard work, isn't it? But now you're doing all sorts of other things, and one of them is that you went back to Ghana and you established a nursing agency.
So the nursing agency is one of the things that we're establishing. There's so many other things that I wanted to do, which I'm doing now, which it's great. So the ones that excite me the most. For example, during the COVID period, I got a lovely job in a country called Gibraltar. And, some people might know Spain. It's in the south of Spain. And so I was in the south of Spain. And when the travel ban was lifted just a little, I was able to travel around Spain. We went to farms and places like that. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, I've always really enjoyed traveling, not even for the reason that I love geography as a student. I'm always talking about countries, rivers, valleys, capital cities, languages. I was always talking about that. So during the COVID period, despite the hardships, I had the opportunity to travel. And that gave me immense joy that now I am in my area of passion. We went to farms, we traveled onto farms. And I'm thinking, I love this. I can live on the farms. I've come to Ghana. I'm setting up a farm. I can, go and relax. You grow your own food. It's all organic. You're doing your own things. And in addition to setting up other businesses here in Ghana. So it's a dream life. I won't say it's an easy life because there's challenges. But if you're doing the kind of things you love, it's not hard work. It's not hard work.
It's not. We're going to be moving into the next part, which would be part 3, actually. And I just wanted in the next part, after our next break, to talk a little bit about your passion about women's welfare. That would be quite interesting to hear your take on that. I'm not sure. We might have. I do have a slight problem in I can't. So guys that are listening, if you're calling in, I've got a bit of an issue because I can't do that. There's somebody that I think we would welcome to come into the room, as it were, with some questions. So I don't know if Naima is able to do that for us and bring her into the room. This is real multitasking, isn't it? I haven't mastered it yet, but I will get there.
Which is what us women do all the time, isn't it? We are multitasking all the time. We're juggling so many balls all the time. Yes.
Annette, are you there? Annette Sawa. Ah, Annette, welcome. Is your mic turned on? You need to open your camera. You'll see the little camera. Oh,
I think she's falling off. She's gone off.
Try again. If she comes back on in a second, it would be great to have her involved in the conversation. But she's dropped off, I think. I don't see her now. Oh, she's back again. Hooray. Annette, I hope you
Hello.
can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We've been reading your messages, but I'm so glad that you've been able to come on. So fire away with some questions, Annette.
I have a question to ask her. How is the Ghanaian public accepting the coaching job? Because a country like Ghana, we have issues with coaching. Like people don't want to spend to develop themselves. So what are the challenges that she's facing here?
Okay, so all right, that's a great question. So during the COVID period, I had the opportunity to, as it were, group coach students in 2 different universities in here in Ghana. I was in Gibraltar then, and by using Zoom, I had this group of students, and that we did some coaching and mentoring work with them. And so some of the challenges are that lots of people don't understand, but the few that do understand, they really do well with the coaching. They come prepared, and they have the questions. That's what they said they're going to do before the next assignment they've done. But I found out that there were some people who just they didn't have the time or didn't really understand. I would say that coaching is a fairly newish concept for people here in Ghana and lots of places in Africa. There are coaches around, there are coaching companies, there are other, multinational companies that employ coaches for their staff, but it's nowhere near what happens in the US or in the UK, certainly, but it's very different. And that's about it. But I think the way we can meet that challenge is because the need is huge. There's not enough coaches. When people realize that, gosh, I can cut 10 years work, and do it in 6 to 1 year because, somebody's going to push me and make sure I'm accountable. Do you understand? Somebody's going to do that. People realize the benefits of coaching. If you're talking about maybe tapping in on their strengths, strengths that they already got in them that they're going to tap on. Or if you're talking about all of us fail before, I start talking about my failures and we're not going to finish. Because I'm sitting down here talking and it will sound like I've made no mistakes, but I've made so many mistakes. In fact, it was because of my mistakes. That's why I was so depressed and I went to the library and bought the books. I had so many mistakes. And I feel that I have done well because of my mistakes. And I think that most people can benefit from the challenges, the mistakes, that they can use that as their stepping stones to their success. And I think that, in places like Ghana, we can use that a lot to, counteract the challenges that people don't understand coaching, but we're saying, look at all these difficulties that you've got. You can use them.
I have another question.
Okay.
I have another question.
Okay.
In Ghana,
well, it's up to me. Zanna, what do you think? I'm not moderating here. I'm a guest. Zanna, what do you think?
Go for the next question. You're welcome, Annette.
Okay. Where I find myself in Accra, or to be precise, Ghana, we have we believe in more of a spiritual consultation. The listing, we run to pastors, we run to deacons of a church and stuff, seeking for warfare and how to think, how to grow. I want to find out from Doctor, has she ever encountered such a situation that knowing or seeing it vividly, that this issue need not a pastor coming in, but going to a coach or a lifestyle coach to rather help him or her instead of going to see a pastor?
Okay. So
it's 18 hours.
So I think that there are people face a lot of issues that I think they are not able to sit down and think where the best help is going to come from. So you would see that somebody's, again, and I'm talking from the medical perspective, somebody is unwell, but they don't see the need to maybe go and see a doctor. They'd rather go elsewhere. So it's not even just with issues in life like coaching, but in all different ways, people just have not been able to work out that maybe this time I need a doctor, or I need a counselor, and I need a coach, or this is something I can do for myself. I don't need anybody. I think lots of people in these parts of the world struggle with those kind of decisions. And they tend to think that lots of their problems might be spiritual, and therefore they're looking for spiritual solutions to their problem. One way in which all of us can benefit is maybe to encourage people to maybe think clearly about the issues they are having and see who would be the best person to help them with the challenges they are having. So it's a great question. It's a big question. I don't think I'll be able to answer it all now, but people should be encouraged to think more about what it is they are facing and see who will best suit their needs, and not just run to for prayers in the church or whatever, as you say.
Thank you, Annette. These are fantastic questions, which obviously we really welcome and value. We need to go to a commercial break next, but Annette, stay with us because you'll be welcome to ask some more questions. However, after this next break, we're going to come back, and Dr. Evelyn, if you're happy, we can perhaps talk a little bit about your passion towards the female solution, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
I think we should be ready for the break any moment now.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, childcare services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're 3 Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 3 Black Moms.
Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
We're back in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I am really enjoying this whole show, chatting with you. It's an inspiration in itself to listen to you and to talk about these subjects for sure. I am very curious now to learn a lot more about what you're wanting to do now. How would you describe it? Giving women the opportunity to come up, and whereabouts are you focusing?
So, all right. So, one of my passions has always been, I hate to see people struggling, like people, like poverty, basically, people struggling, don't have enough food, children aren't in school. It's always been an issue for me growing up, and I remember that. So finally, when I had the opportunity, and again, chasing my dream, that I wanted to get to medical school, train as a doctor, and work with women, which is what I did. I did a bit of a women's training when I was in the UK. And here in Ghana, I am looking at, and we've started, like I said before, I had a farm, and on that farm, in the busy periods, we can have so many women working on the farm, and that made me so happy, just seeing that there was opportunity to employ these ladies so that they have enough, they can look after the children, can go to school, like my dreams were gradually coming to pass. It wasn't easy. I had to move out of the city, go out into the village. I used to go there maybe a week or two onto the farm. They'll come around, and I could see the opportunity. After they've done work, for example, there's always opportunity to talk to them about, infant nutrition, feeding, family planning, that's they wanted to, finances and stuff like that. You will be able to, you'll be able to engage with women that way. And that excited me. So at this stage of my dream is to be able to establish something. And that is one of the things that I'm here to do. Maybe like a training place where women can come and get skills. And there's some here in Ghana already. But what I intend to do is that we set them up in such a way that they can go off and then do their own thing, but still get support from from us mainly. So they are in business for themselves, but they're not on their own. So that would be my next stage, is to empower women, because I love children, and basically one of the reasons why I got pushed into medical school is I'm seeing all these children. I feel we could do a bit more for. But I realized that I really needed to look after the women, because when we look after the women, then we will look after the children and the whole family. This is why women's work is so fulfilling. If you get the women, you look after the whole family. So to be able to get women to become gainfully employed, so they can look after themselves, look after their children, look after the family. So this is my next stage. I do work with women now, but my dream, living the dream, working towards the dream would be to have a place where women can come and train, do all sorts of things, go out and do, and they also affect and change their world. So this is my passion now. Find some women who are crazy enough to come and work with me so we can work together.
Brilliant. How will you go about that though?
So what I've got now is I don't have the whole thing. I've got 1 or 2 women that I'm helping now, and my goal will be to be able to help 12 women in a year. I don't think I'll hit that goal because some of my goals are a bit behind, because when I came to Ghana, I had to make some changes. So my goals were a bit warped. But it will be that I might be able to have a training institution, maybe if not by the end of this year, but certainly by the end of next year. I have something where I can get women to come in, not just learn the skills to be able to set business, but learn, to be intentional about their life, learn to be able to grow themselves professionally and personally, learn to set their priorities, put their time and focus in the right places, the places that where they feel they want to lay the emphasis. It will not be for me to say, you've got to do this or go to do that, but you look at where it is you want to go. If it is that you want to have a business that is, would be, give you so much money so you can look after your children, then you identify, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do, this is where I need to lay the emphasis. So people are doing their own thing, choosing the goals they want to work on, putting the time to it, and going out there and being amazing people, because I think we can make it if we have a bit of understanding, a bit of guidance to start off with. That, I mean, you have to be intentional with your life. You cannot live your life the way everybody else lives their life and expect to have different results. You have results like everybody else. If you made your decision slightly differently, that at the end of the month, whatever money you have, you're going to set some aside and you're going to invest, or you're going to try and start your own business. Or in the evenings, even if it's 30 minutes, in the evening, even if it's once or twice a week, that I'll do that reading, or I'll do that little study, or I'll go and do that little course, or I'll volunteer. Some people might want, like the skills they want, all they need to do is to volunteer in, I don't know, whether it's a hairdresser, in a shop, wherever it is they want to do. Just put some time to it and commit to it, because it's a commitment, and like you say, being consistent day in and day out. Looking at that dream and saying, this is what I want. I don't care what other people are saying, because everybody is going in one direction. And if you want to hit your dream, you'll be going in the opposite direction. People will not understand why you do what you do. I mean, people don't understand why I've left a life in the UK and in Gibraltar and I'm sitting here. People just don't understand. But I have got my vision, my dream ahead of me, and I'm prepared to do the hard work to get to where it is I want to get to. So, I'm hoping that I will be able to get women who, like I'm saying, will be crazy enough to want to make life difficult for themselves a bit, just to improve their lives in the long term. So this is the vision, and I'm working on it.
It's a powerful vision. There's somebody absolutely awesome in the waiting room to come in and talk. So any moment now, I think we've got a wonderful, wonderful lady. Asada, are you there?
Hi. Hey. How are you, Dr. Evelyn?
Very well, thank you. And how are you doing?
I'm just loving life. And I want to say to Zanna, you're doing a phenomenal job, darling. No one cares that this is your first time. It's fabulous. So I just had a question. I was the one that was asking the questions about professional development.
Yes.
And I really wanted to say professional development in Africa, because here's the deal. Americans don't get out enough, right? And so what that means is, for those of us, I always call us the stolen children, the ones that's in America, African Americans, we the ones that got stolen. Okay, good. But what that means is that we don't have a good sense a lot of times of what is happening on the continent and to what degree. And the importance about this interchange is that we are seeing a professional sister from Ghana talking about nursing and, development and coaching. And that's not always real. Like, what? Because of the images given to us about Africa. I'm not talking about the stereotypical anything, but I'm from New York. And so we have the marketplace and a lot of brothers and sisters from the market. But that's just like one fraction of the continent. We're talking, you're here and just talking like we do. And so my question really had to do with when you say living your dream, I'll speak for myself. I've never sat to think of a sister from the continent having a dream. What dream? Because we really need some clarity on like the makeup of Africa. And I want to hear a little bit about just the development process. You know, when you were a young girl thinking about what you wanted, what was it based on? Because we don't fully know. And you're an educated woman who's, you know, doing the do just like any of us would here. And so is there a difference? Is what do we need to know to shift our paradigm and know? Because when I took my students to Senegal in 97, but when we got there and saw the Mercedes Benzes running around and we was going to the club, we were just like blown away, because Americans don't have a sense of any normal life. And so is there anything we should know about that process of achieving what you've achieved, and that just that world, like you said, living your dream, it evolved from where? Basically, how did it evolve? Because I know when I went to Africa, it was so beautiful. I was like palm trees, ocean, like it was these, we don't get those images. And so I could see how I could be, you know, growing up in Africa and just looking and just relaxing, and like people go to vacation to Africa, but we didn't have that reality. So is there anything that you want to share with us that would help with the picture of that process to become who you are?
My story really is that I was born in the UK.
Okay.
And then when I was age 2, I came to Ghana because in those days, in what we call the colonial days, all the professionals in Africa went to the UK, in Ghana, from Ghana at least, because we were colonized, we went to the UK. So my parents went there to trade, and that's how I was born in the UK.
Gotcha.
Then I came to Ghana. Yes, I came to Ghana, and I grew up here in Ghana up to about age 21. Okay. Then we went back to the UK. So now, growing up here, I saw, which is one of, I said, I hated like that people didn't have. I was fortunate in I have it. I hated the fact that people didn't have, and it bothers me now as well. Like people don't have. Some people have so much, and some don't have. It's one of the reasons why, despite the fact that I've been in the UK 30, 40 years, I wanted to come back and see if I could also help my people get a little bit more out of life. And this is why I said, for me, I'm living the dream. And it's by no means perfect. It's difficult out here. The economy is difficult at the moment. People don't understand why I've left a crazy nice life in the UK, and I'm here doing what I'm doing. But I feel like the opportunities are here for people out there, African Americans out there sitting out and looking in. The opportunities are here.
Yes.
Yes, it's not easy. It's not straightforward. We've got a difficult economy. We have a culture that will be different from the culture in the West, but the opportunities are here to make a change, to help change things for a few people, which is what I'm doing. I'm not there yet. Mm-hmm. But every day that I take a step to help somebody else achieve something in life, I'm living my dream. So, right. I mean, I'm doing the things that now I want to do. I could stay because I was in Gibraltar before I came. Gibraltar is a lovely place. The weather is amazing. Crime is almost nothing. I could travel in Europe with almost nothing. I left all that because I was chasing something else, which is not money or anything like that, but something that would fulfill me.
Sure.
So I've had to make sacrifices, a comfortable, easy life, no doubt, in Gibraltar, for a life that is a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging. But I've got the opportunity to be able to help other people change and see life differently and see things differently, and not say, oh, why me, why me, why me? Because once you're saying why me, you're losing the time. The time is going away. Rather than doing something to change your situation, you don't want to be the victim all the time. We can intentionally change things for ourselves. So this is what pushed me back, that you can help people change themselves. And that's the story.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because what you're describing to me is a purpose-driven life. And when when your life is not purpose-driven, it is boring. You get depressed. I don't care how many cars you got. You sitting there upset because you're not impacting other people's lives. And I'm so happy you're saying that, because that was one thing when we went to Africa. Yes, it was a different country, but I'm gonna tell you something about trust, right? This one day, so we're about to leave soon, maybe a day or so, and this guy was selling these baskets that I loved. So I wanted to get one, but I didn't really have any money. So the guy said, I was like, oh, I love this. And this is what Americans do. They say, I'll come back, but they're not telling the truth. Okay. So I say, I'll come back. And the guy said, here, take it. I'll see you when you get back. Whoa, he don't know me, but he said, here, take it. I'll see you when you get back. And it, to me, was like a different level of trust that was in a, like, we as African Americans need to know that life. We need to know the life in Africa, because I'm gonna tell you right now, our views are so distorted. There was such a process done in that process of enslavement that we don't have a clue. And when I came to Africa, I actually brought my students. I brought like 18 students, and we had a party of 40. So my mama came, my brother came, but we needed that shift. It was a paradigm shift that we needed, because the truth came out about our people. And in your work, I'm glad we're having this interchange, because we need you. Like, we need you so that we can get the truth right, and help in whatever way we can. But we're raised to think that resources are material things, and not that resources are duties and life-changing activity, right? And so we need a little wake-up call so that we can, like you said, those opportunities are 1,000%, right? And so, just being able to not only contribute and take part of what is needed, but we got a lot we can learn. We got a lot we can learn from you and brothers and sisters on the continent doing business as usual with a purpose. That makes a great difference. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Zanna, and thank you for giving me a chance to speak. I'm so happy.
You're amazing, as always.
Love you much. Fantastic. Love you. Thank you, Dr.
I'm so glad you did come on, because I think it kind of adds a new dimension to the whole conversation. So I think it's been fantastic, and I thank you.
I'm sitting there like this because you all are talking so normally, and I'm like, I don't think for Americans, and I don't want to be calling myself no American, but I'll do so for the globalness of the call. But I'm sitting here like, this sister is just flowing about what she does, but there's a layer that needs to be addressed in terms of African American credibility. Like, what? This sister has a what? She's a coach. And we just don't have that concept of our brothers and sisters on the continent. And so the dimensions, you're really assisting us in snap into reality, girl. Been doing this for years. Been doing it. Been, like you said, I've been raising my children, and so I appreciate you, because now it's like, okay, well, what do you need, and what are we doing, and how can we be a part? And all of those different questions are on the table. So I will continue to watch away and learn.
Stay where you are, though, please, Asada, because I just quickly want to ask that question and put that to Dr. Evelyn. What can they do? How can we incorporate? Is there a way forward in that sense?
I think what I would say is maybe that we will champion the needs of our people, and we will continue to talk right from here, Ghana, to say that Africa is a great place to be. It's just we don't have the nice buildings and the internet on tap and all. We don't have all that, but we still have, it's a great place to be. And for, people in the diaspora, like the African Americans who are sitting back wondering, what if, yes, but whatever, come and visit, just come and see, what is happening here. Make some good friends. Make sure you make some good friends and not fall into the wrong company, because you can't do that anyway. I am happy to continue to champion the cause of women in Ghana and for Africans, because that's where I am. I think this is a great place to be, a great place for people to come to invest their monies, come and teach, come and trade, come and do business here. We will do business there. They can come and do business here, and help lift the profile of Africa a bit, because like the stories everywhere that we live on, we still live on trees. I don't know, there's all those things, all those weird things still going on out there. And it's not. Yes, we do have our challenges. Yes, there's plenty of people who lack a lot of basic things here. Yes, things could be better, but yes, we can build a better nation for ourselves if the right people come together and decide to help a little bit. So thank you very much for asking. We would appreciate every support that you can give us here. So our places are a good place for you to come and visit. And I don't know, dare I say, stay.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, because we do have a lot now. And while we're not rich, some of us and all of that, I like this idea that come on over here and see what we need. And then make a decision about what you want to do, because although that trip to Africa provided a lot of clarity, we ain't come thinking about the trees and all that, but you know how they try to portray Africa. But I think just the modernization, we stayed in a hotel now, and there's just life. And I think, I'm a Scientologist, and one of the things that Ron Hubbard said is, if you see a problem, look at what you didn't do and know why it's a problem. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I want to look at, okay, this is a reality, and there's definitely something that we can do beyond. Sometimes we do things like, I donated pencils and books, whatever. Let's look at the real deal of what is needed. But we'll talk even after this, and then let's put it on the table. How can we bridge the gap and get this thing rolling? This could really spawn into a whole new reality for us.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Before we go to our final break and then our last half hour, I just want all our listeners and viewers to know that they can watch out for Dr. Evelyn's Facebook page, so you can follow her there. That will come up somewhere. Also, Dr. Evelyn's YouTube channel. So do subscribe to that when you see it. And also, we will show, and you will definitely be able to see this, Dr. Evelyn's email address. So you will be able, there we go. So take note of this, take a quick screenshot or something or other, write it down. And you are also welcome to connect with Dr. Evelyn via email. So you can send her an email. So we're about to take a break any moment. I think we've got 2 minutes actually. But anybody is welcome. I know this because I double checked first. But do get in touch. Facebook, YouTube channel, and you can also contact Dr. Evelyn via email. Was that it? Oh, there is also, Dr. Evelyn, there's also your Instagram. I wasn't quite sure how to send that. Your Instagram.
I don't know how you're going to do it. I'm not that techie, so I'm sorry.
No, I'm not very techie either, I think, as we've all gathered today. But I think
That's the
Well,
YouTube.
actually, I think maybe I'm going to send that over because that's the fourth one. So I have got all of them, haven't I?
So yeah, this is the YouTube page I think you've got. So I think the YouTube and the Facebook is enough if you can't get the Instagram. The Facebook will be enough.
But,
if there's
yeah. But even people might be able to find that. We might be able to post it on the Female Solution Facebook page. I'm not sure if that's possible, but it might be. Wonderful. So I think we've got another minute to go, and then we go to another short break. And we're then going to come back for our last half hour. Really, in our last half hour, a roundup of ideas, but I think it would be perfect. Asada, are you able to stay?
Girl, I'm here watching Zanna. Girl, please, Zanna talks. I'm like this. Somebody just called me. I was like, girl, I'm watching Zanna. Leave me alone. I'm watching this.
I think really for the last half hour, a roundup of ideas and question time too. So we have had a bit of an issue with I think because we're not in the USA, we haven't figured out how to connect the callers. So if anyone's called and you're not able to connect with us on that call, come into the room. Why not, and ask your question there. So
they should leave a comment. They should leave a comment either under the Female Solution Facebook page, or I left my comments on the YouTube page for the Female Solution, and then you can go write the comment and see it there. So I think that's what they should do if they can't get through via phone.
That would be great. So I hope everyone's heard that. So now let's go to the final commercial break. Stay with us, everybody, and we will be back for a crack finish. See you all in a moment.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, childcare services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're 3 Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also 3 sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're 3 Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 3 Black Moms.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
Oh, hello. Falling asleep there. Welcome back, everybody. And I'm hoping that Dr. Evelyn is back in the room.
Yes, I'm here.
And can we all hear? Can you hear me, Dr. Evelyn?
Yes, loud and clear.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Oh, well, it's been fantastic. I have to say, before we carry on, I have thoroughly enjoyed this. It's quite nerve-wracking, I must say, but it's been fantastic. I think it's been fantastic on quite a number of different levels. I think it's been fabulous because Dr. Evelyn is fabulous, just all round. I think it's been engaging because it's given deeper insight into a whole lot more possibilities. I think people that have been with us on this show, listening and watching, I would think could take away an awful lot and come back to us as well and stay connected. As I said, you will be able to find Dr. Evelyn's contacts and her social media platforms. So that would be a wonderful thing. But I think focus on your dreams. Let your dreams develop into your life vision. And I just think that keeps on evolving as we grow through life. I think sometimes we go through periods of our life when perhaps it can become a little bit morose. Maybe when things have gone wrong. Maybe when you've gone through a period of time that seems quite lengthy. Maybe when you reach certain ages. Well, in actual fact, every single day is an enormous gift, is it not? And I think that, you know, to wake up every morning, when we wake up and we live another day, it's just completely glorious, isn't it? If we can see this as a gift, of course, we have to deal with problems. We have to find solutions and sort them out. But I think what we need to probably do a whole lot more is focus on life, focus on everything that's fantastic about it. Our whole planet, and we all live on this as one. That's why I think Global Talks is fantastic, because since the birth of the internet, it's something that we can do. It might have its downsides, but the upsides of the internet are absolutely enormous. We wouldn't be doing this today if we weren't having this gift. We talked about dreams. We've talked about vision. I do firmly believe that it's all very well having a dream and turning it into vision, but focus on solutions. And Dr. Evelyn is just sheer brilliance when it comes to that. So her coaching skills are very powerful. I would strongly recommend getting in touch with Dr. Evelyn and seeing where that can take you. From creating solutions, eventually we can turn those dreams into reality. So let's just focus on our last is it a quarter? Yeah, it is. Last quarter of our show. And let's go back a step to before the commercials, and we were talking about what can we do now to move forward. To be honest, Africa is a huge continent. It's filled with amazing countries and amazing people. I think there's a massive change happening right now. We finished in the last week a 3-week, 3-session documentary all about Nigeria, and it was amazing. It was raw, it was honest, but it showed a very beautiful country. People don't know it's beautiful, and it showed incredible people too, and diversity. So that's just one. So I think that this is a place to visit, isn't it? Go on a holiday, find business, connect. I'm going to turn this over to Evelyn for the moment. What do you reckon?
Can I say something to your credit? I'm so sorry. Can I say something to your credit, Zanna?
Yeah, go.
Look, Zanna has introduced me to more people from Africa than anybody I know. Let that be known. She is a serious bridge, and your the reason you were put on the planet is something to behold and not take lightly, because I mean, how would I have known Dr. Evelyn today? Never. We would not have met, right? So you have that, but this is something that is who Zanna is. And I mean, we're big cryptocurrency sisters. We do all these different things. So it's like, well, from Zambia to Ghana to Kenya, that one right there is a bridge. And I just love it because it's not anything pretentious. It's not like, oh, I'm in Africa. Like, no, it is like dealing with excellence. And she has that connection. And so I do want to say, right? I do want to say thank you, Zanna, because you're just living your life, right? And aiming for what you're aiming for, not even realizing that you are bridging bridges that need to be built, like for real. And so I'm so happy that you chose to do this show, because I already knew this is going to take what you automatically do to a whole other level. Look, Dr. Evelyn, she had like 7 shows lined up when I first told her to.
Wow.
She was like lining up the speakers and lining up the show. So you actually are a big part of her history, because it's her first show ever, and she chose you first. Yes. So I do love that too, and that's historical. So she's gonna be
Evelyn is an incredibly dear friend of mine, and I would say now, Evelyn, you are my forever friend now.
Oh yes, so, I mean, Zanna, everything you've said about Zanna is so true. I mean, Zanna couldn't be more black.
You already know. You got the black. You got a black card, girl. You got the black card. You got a membership. We love it. We love it.
Fantastic.
And that's a great comment down there too. From is that AI Kim? You see that comment? Yeah. Well done, Zanna, for hosting this amazing show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
Yeah, so it says Dr. Evelyn is an amazing presenter. I love it. That's right. Yep, this is so awesome. I'm gonna be quiet because I really just want to be a bystander, just continue to learn. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so of course Asada's come in and completely thrown us, and we were on course, and she's just gone and ruined it all.
You should have told me to stay. I'm out of here. Take me off stage. I don't need to be here. Take me off stage.
No, you stay where you are now.
Look
Anyone
at those
else want to join?
You see that the comments? 2 things women teach kids to learn, or don't tell kids. I don't know what that means.
2 things women teach kids to learn, or don't tell kids. 2 things. Oh, William.
More, huh?
Yes,
tell us a bit more about that, William. We'll look out for it, William. So I would like, we've got 15 minutes left of this absolutely wonderful time, 2 hours here. I would like the last 15 minutes to finish very, very positively. How are we going to finish it very, very positively? What can we leave people with to think? Now, obviously, I do want Evelyn's contacts put up, if that's at all possible, so we can make sure everybody that's listening or watching, there's the email address. So take a quick photo of it or a screenshot or quickly write it down. ladydrgold@gmail.com. And then, of course, her 2 social media platforms. Oh, 3 actually, because there's the Instagram as well. We can put that on the Facebook page, can't we? If it hasn't come up, but do get in touch. There we go. Dr. Evelyn's Facebook page, and we can put up later the Instagram and also her YouTube channel, which would be good to subscribe to. So thank you very much for that. Let's just have a quick chat from each one of you. Dr. Evelyn, first, I'm going to bring you back in. Where are your thoughts now? Is there anything that you want to say to everybody at this stage?
I would say, having talking about living our dreams, I would say, because I've always been passionate about, and I don't know the demographics for this radio, this show. Is it all women? Is it? It looks like it's mixed men and women, but I'm saying that we should not. We should concentrate on the things that we love to do, and develop those, even if they are hobbies. Develop the hobbies so well that somebody is willing to pay you for it, and continue to develop those, because we know that your hobbies or your strength or your area of passion, that's where you're going to get the most satisfaction out of. So if you do it so well, you get paid for it, and it's a rewarding career. I mean, you are in your best place ever, doing the things you love and somebody paying you for it. This is why I feel that living the dream is such an amazing thing. Find out what it is that you really, really want to do, the things that excite you, the things that keep you up at night, what you really wanted to do when you were a child. Those kind of things, find what they are. And if it means you finding time and spending money to develop those things, this is how you're going to live a life that is fulfilled, and you feel you're fulfilled, you are achieving, you are happy, you wake up in the morning with a spring in your step. And I can't encourage people enough to find out their God-given purpose, or their, and just chase that. Because that's how you're going to be successful in life, doing the things you love to do, and maybe being paid for it. So that's what I've got to say to bring this to begin to round this up. Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. I do just want to quickly read some of the messages that we've had. So apologies to all those that have been texting in some fabulous messages, and I should have read some of them out early, so apologies for that. We've had some super messages from Anne, who has made it quite clear. I'll quickly read it again. How Dr. Evelyn has changed her positively at a time when she was failing. So this is where coaching is so invaluable, isn't it? She says, Dr. Evelyn has changed me positively at a time I was failing. You took me through the book Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell, which has changed my thoughts and perception. I now believe in myself. And that's just fantastic, isn't it? That's life-changing for one person, which is huge. So that just says it all. This is why it's, I think, just so important to stop and have a think. Can somebody like Dr. Evelyn help move you forwards in life where maybe you're feeling a little bit stuck? Maybe it's a way to realize that perhaps we don't need to be stuck. Asada, you've written some fabulous messages too, and you have said the importance of this interchange that we were talking about earlier is that here in America, we walk around without a concept of professionalism in other parts of the world. Thank you for opening our eyes for your important work. There's a huge amount going on, isn't there, Evelyn, in Ghana itself? It's a beautiful country. It's a busy country. Of course, it has its issues, but then I think in every country you can walk through London and there are people living on the streets in a sleeping bag in the middle of winter. So so we managed to talk about that. William Graves, thank you very much for your messages. I think one of the things you said was a good coach, an exemplary parent is teaching kids to favor hobbies. Oh yes, of course. I think so. Coaching parents, is that something also that you've been asked to do?
Not particularly, but there are coaches that do, coach parents. But I think that parents can be coached, or everybody can be coached to. For example, one of the areas in which you can set goals, if you feel you're lacking, it's maybe in the area of your relationship or parenting. So you can be encouraged maybe to look at the right books, or join the right groups, or maybe join the right Facebook, because with all these things, as you know, there are Facebook groups talking about parenting, there are YouTube channels talking about parenting. So you can do something for yourself, not necessarily going to pay a coach. And then I shouldn't really be saying that, because people say now you're spoiling that business. But I'm all for helping yourself first. So I don't do coaching, parent, relationship coaching per se, but we give you some strategies for you to be able to help yourself do that.
Fantastic, thank you. Quickly whizzing through some more of these. William Groves, hopefully that was helpful information for you. Some good comments from you, William. Thank you very much. I also want to say thank you for the kind comments about the show. So we hope that you have all enjoyed it. We have some minutes left, so let's just finish on some of those ideas about what else we can do to incorporate Africa, USA.
I have a question. Dr. Evelyn, are your clients primarily from the UK, primarily from Ghana? Do you do things digitally with people over here in the US? How does that work?
So what I have done in the past, when I certainly was in Gibraltar in the UK, I did a lot of Zoom, because I was doing the COVID period. So I did a lot of stuff on Zoom. Now here, I've done a bit of stuff on Zoom. I haven't got any US clients as yet. That doesn't mean I can't have. It's just I've not reached out to the people in the US. But yes, nothing stops us doing some work with people in the US. Nothing stops us at all.
Gotcha. Your YouTube channel, did I see that you had a YouTube channel?
I do have a YouTube channel that I did whilst I was in London and Gibraltar, yes.
Okay, I'll go look at that. I already friended you on Facebook, but let me ask: do you also have a Evelyn? Is it Tawiah? How you say your last name?
Yes, I do have one that is like the personal one that where you get all the personal things. And then
you got a head wrap on, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I did do that one, but I'll go look for the professional one. That was the first one I found. I just wanted to make sure, because I think and without social media, I wouldn't even know Zanna. You know what I mean? This is this is how we connect. So I do love that it exists, but let's, I'm ready to roll. Like, it's not like I'm sitting here with $1 million. Like, what you need? But I'm very clear that today has created another bridge where it's like, okay, wait a minute. What are you doing? What do you need? I'd love to understand your nursing program a little bit more. Like, what is that what does that do? And how does that work? Nurses in Ghana, nurses in the UK, or what is it? Yeah. How does that work?
So what we were trying to do, which is one of the areas that I've not really pushed that much because I've got so many things happening at the moment, was to help, because there was, and I think the UK government has closed it down a bit, but opportunities for people to go and live and work in the UK. And the UK government was taking not even necessarily qualified nurses, but people who wanted to work in home aides. I don't know what you call health aides, like you call them in the US, where they go and live in people's homes and help them out. So they were taking on a lot of non-trained nurses, and that was the bit that I was happy to send non-trained nurses go to the UK, train them up a bit, and then get them working. So we were doing that, but like I'm saying, I didn't push it too much, simply because I guess I didn't have the time. But it was a good opportunity for people to, go there, learn the culture, get a bit of money, get some understanding, and help support their families back home. But I don't do too much of it now. It's the simple answer to that one.
Okay. Look, we all have a bunch of projects. I'm just sitting here today like, which one should I work on?
Yeah, it's just, I can't, there's just so many things happening. I'm thinking I will not be able to handle all this thing, So sure. I do have a personal assistant that I've appointed to help me out with some of my things, just to be able to juggle all the balls at the same time. But it's life is great. I am not complaining at all. It's people didn't understand why I left a nice life and came to Ghana, but it's been for me. I'm just joyous. I'm just happy doing what I'm doing. It's just great.
Nice. And you're setting a great example for us, because for those of us that do a lot, you usually have a lot of purposes, but you do have to prioritize which one you're going to give the most energy to, and which one services people better, which one is helping people survive better versus, all of the different things we have up our sleeve. But I learned something very big, and I'm going to share it just because I think we all need to, on this platform, know it and see it. I know I'm looking at myself too small. And the things that we do, there are bigger entities that want to support our work. And a lot of times we get so caught up in the minutia of what we do, it blocks us from really looking at how big can this be? Somebody has all the money to say, oh, you're doing what? You're doing the work. Let me give you that. And so I just want to encourage us to look at how big we can be, and then how many people can we serve? Because somebody's sitting down with no ideas, but they got a lot of money. Right? Yes. And so looking and being bigger and helping each other be bigger, I would like to see us do that, and not just leave it in the back burner. So I take the charge of this union to do that very thing.
That would be great. There's so much we can do. There's just so much we can do. So the sky is the limit.
The sky is the limit. Yep.
Sky's the limit. Absolutely. So thank you very, very much, Dr. Evelyn. You have been absolutely incredible. I would say that everybody that has joined us on this show for the last 2 hours would have thoroughly enjoyed listening to you, would definitely have taken a huge amount from you. You are an inspiration. Don't ever stop shining the way that you do. I think you're incredible. I absolutely adore you. You're an incredible soul, a beautiful friend to have. I cherish that. And let's see what further doors could possibly open. Who knows? Facebook page again. So everybody, please feel free. Come and connect with Dr. Evelyn. Asada, thank you very much for jumping on this afternoon too. It's been great fun, hasn't it? It's been fun. And I think that's really what's important. And Dr. Evelyn, I hope you come back again someday.
I'll come back. Anytime you call me and I've got something to say, I'll come back. So it's been great, and thank you very much for the opportunity. And I saw that it was just so nice, because I used to do some of your Bitcoin things. I was in the background, so I saw you. So it's nice to speak to you face to face. It's really, really
excellent.
Nice. I've had a good time, and it's the beginning of great things to come, and I'm excited. I'm thankful, truly.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you too. I will be back in 1 month, and it's Saturday. I think it's the 1st of what are we now? June. It'll be the 1st of June in a month's time. And I have a gentleman coming on from Egypt, keeping it international and global, of course.
Nice.
So that would be great. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our viewers. We love you all, and see you again.
Bye.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessing.
There is no such thing as being in between lives, as they are all happening now. What happens is you shift into a higher dimensional consciousness wherein you can perceive all of your incarnations simultaneously.